There's a passenger ferry that gets you from North Kitsap County to downtown Seattle in under 40 minutes. Not 30 minutes to a parking garage in South Seattle, not to a transit hub where you catch another bus, but to the downtown Seattle waterfront, Pier 50. And most people shopping this part of Washington State have no idea it exists. So here's why that matters. The buyers who figure this out are getting Pacific Northwest waterfront living, acreage, privacy, and small town character at prices $400,000 to $600,000 below what the same commute would cost them on Bainbridge Island. So this video is about that ferry and what it means for you and whether North Kitsap County belongs on your relocation list. So here's the mental model most people bring to North Kitsap when they're shopping Washington State. They look at a map, they see Kingston, Poulsbo, and Hansville sitting north of Bainbridge Island and north of the main ferry corridors. They see that getting to Seattle means either a long car ferry route or an hour-and-a-half driving around the Sound through Tacoma. And they say, that's too far. I'll look at Bainbridge or maybe Gig Harbor. So they do. Then they see the Bainbridge price tag, median over $1 million, and they think, okay, Bainbridge is too expensive. And North Kitsap, it really never got a second look. Here's what the conventional wisdom misses. The Kingston Fast Ferry, operated by Kitsap Transit, runs year-round between Kingston and downtown Seattle's waterfront. It's a passenger-only vessel, and it makes the crossing in about 39 minutes or so. And it exists for one reason: to get people who live on the Kitsap Peninsula to their jobs in Seattle. So when you factor in that ferry, North Kitsap isn't a remote rural backwater. It's a legitimate Seattle commuter option with prices that still reflect the old perception, not the current reality. And that gap between perception and reality is exactly where opportunity lives in real estate. So, if you're looking at North Kitsap real estate, or you're thinking about moving to Kitsap County, the Kingston Fast Ferry changes the math. So let me show you how. I'm James Bergstrom. I'm broker and owner of Paramount Real Estate Group right here in Kitsap County, and I work this market every day. I've helped buyers evaluate the North Kitsap corridor specifically as a commuter option. And I'm going to give you the real picture, including the limitations, so you can make a smart decision. Here's what we're covering today. First, the real estate price arbitrage, what the ferry actually does to the math, and second, what the Kingston Fast Ferry really is and what the experience is like, and third, the full commute breakdown from North Kitsap neighborhoods to downtown Seattle. Fourth, the specific communities this ferry opens up for buyers. Fifth, the honest caveats, what the ferry doesn't do and what you need to plan around, and finally, who North Kitsap via the Kingston Ferry is absolutely the right call for and why right now is the window. Let's start with the number that changes everything, because this is the thing most buyers never calculate until someone walks them through it. Bainbridge Island offers a 35-minute Washington State Ferry crossing to downtown Seattle. Its median home price is above $1 million. Bainbridge buyers pay a premium, and that premium is almost entirely about the ferry commute, at least in my opinion. North Kitsap, specifically the Kingston corridor, offers a Kitsap Transit passenger ferry to downtown Seattle that makes the crossing in about 39 minutes. That's roughly the same commute comparable time on the water. Now, let's look at the price. The Bainbridge Island median is over $1 million. Kingston area median, well, it's somewhere around $580,000 to $650,000. So depending on the neighborhood and the property type, the difference, it's $400,000 to $500,000. So on a 30-year mortgage at a conservative rate, that's roughly $2,200 to $2,600 a month in payment. So for a commute that lands you in the same place, downtown Seattle, in about the same amount of time, that is not a nuance. That is a fundamental marketing mispricing. And it exists because most buyers never connect the dots between the Kingston Fast Ferry and what that commute option actually means for their quality of life. So if you were priced out of Bainbridge Island, run a parallel search in the Kingston corridor before you make any decisions. Comparable commute to downtown Seattle, it's dramatically lower entry price. The Pacific Northwest market prices on perceived commute quality, not measured commute quality. Bainbridge has the name recognition and the established commuter story, and Kingston and North Kitsap have a comparable commute at a far better price and almost no recognition. That asymmetry is the opportunity, and it will not last forever. So let's be specific about what this ferry is, because there are multiple ferry systems on Puget Sound and they're not all the same. The Kingston Fast Ferry is operated by Kitsap Transit, and it's a regional transit authority, separate from Washington State Ferries. This is a passenger-only vessel that you do not bring your car. The route runs from the Kingston terminal, right in the heart of Kingston Village, to Pier 50 on the downtown Seattle waterfront. The crossing time is about 39 minutes. The vessel is a modern, high-speed catamaran. It's comfortable, climate-controlled with seating, tables for work in a small cafe and bike storage. Fares run about $2 from Kingston to Seattle and about $13 on the way back. So call it roughly $15 round trip. And fares can change. Compare that to parking in downtown Seattle, $20 to $40 a day, and the ferry is economically competitive even before the count time you save over driving. This is a real commuter tool, not a tourist boat, not a weekend excursion. If you normally work during your morning commute, you can do exactly that on this ferry, except your commute view is Puget Sound and the Olympic Mountains. So here's the full commute breakdown for someone living in North Kitsap and working in downtown Seattle. From Kingston Village itself, 5 minutes to the dock, about 39 minutes on the ferry, 5 to 15 minutes walking on the Seattle waterfront to your office. So the total, that's roughly 50 to 60 minutes door to door. So from Poulsbo, it's 18 to 22 minutes to the dock, plus the ferry and the walk on the other side. So total there, roughly 65 to 75 minutes. From Hansville, 20 to 25 minutes to the dock, plus the ferry and terminal time. So total, that's roughly 65 to 80 minutes. Now, let me compare that to some Seattle area commutes that buyers are actually choosing. Bellevue to downtown Seattle by car, 35 to 60 minutes and highly variable with traffic. Redmond to downtown Seattle, 35 to 75 minutes with the 520 bridge toll. Tacoma to downtown Seattle on I-5, that's 50 to 90 minutes during peak hours. Bainbridge Island via the car ferry, it's 45 to 65 total minutes once you count the dock and walk on each end. A buyer in Kingston Village can be in downtown Seattle in about the same time as a Bainbridge commuter and faster than a lot of people driving in from Redmond or South Bellevue, two of the most sought after, most expensive suburbs in the whole region. Most people thinking about the Pacific Northwest have never put those numbers side by side, but when they do, North Kitsap goes from that rural area I'd never considered to, wait, why isn't everyone moving here? Quick pause. Hey, if you're watching this because you're actually planning a move to Washington State and you're trying to figure out which area fits your life, I put together a free Washington State relocation guide that breaks down the regions, the commute corridors, the real estate markets, and what to look for before you pick a zip code. It's in the description below. Grab it while you're thinking about it. It'll give you a lot of context for the back half of this video. Once you accept that the ferry makes North Kitsap a viable Seattle commuter option, the next question is, where specifically do you look? All right, Kingston Village. Kingston is the anchor community. The ferry terminal sits right in the heart of the village. It has a walkable waterfront downtown, local coffee shops, restaurants, a library, and community spaces. You could walk out of your home, grab your morning coffee, and board the ferry, all within a few hundred yards. Real estate in Kingston proper, well, it's roughly $480,000 to $750,000 for single family homes. Poulsbo, well, it's about 18 to 22 minutes from the Kingston terminal, one of the most charming small towns in the whole Pacific Northwest. Its Norwegian heritage is absolutely lovely. Downtown Front Street on Liberty Bay, it's a strong local food culture. Median prices, $680,000 to $780,000, and trending up. Still dramatically below Bainbridge for the lifestyle it offers and the ferry access it carries. So, Hansville, for buyers who want maximum privacy, land, and a Pacific Northwest solitude, point-no-point lighthouse, large forested lots, real privacy and waterfront access. It's 22 to 25 minutes to the Kingston Ferry. Real estate from the mid 400s inland to well over $1 million on the waterfront. Suquamish, between Poulsbo and the Agate Pass Bridge to Bainbridge waterfront on Puget Sound. It's a tight-knit community and quick access to the Kingston Ferry and the Bainbridge crossing. It's worth a look if you want genuine water access without the Bainbridge price tag. So the key for buyers, map your home search from the Kingston terminal outward and be honest about your drive-to dock tolerance. Kingston Village is walkable to the terminal, so within 20 minutes you have excellent options. Beyond 25 minutes, you start to erode the commute advantage that makes North Kitsap special. Every commute option has trade-offs, so let me be straight about the things that don't work as well. One, it's not a car ferry. You cannot bring your vehicle, so if your job requires a car in Seattle, this doesn't solve the problem. Two, the schedule is fixed. If you've got a client dinner that runs until 9:30 at night, you need to know whether there's a sailing that gets you home. The schedule has grown, but it's not unlimited. Three, weather can occasionally affect service. The Pacific Northwest gets real winter weather. Most days are fine, but high winds or rough water can cause delays or cancellations. So build a backup plan. It's manageable, but it's real. Four, Kingston terminal parking is limited. It fills up on peak commute days, so arrive early or arrange another way to the dock. Five, off-peak and weekend service is reduced. This ferry is weekday focused with limited Saturday service and no Sunday sailings right now. So if your life involves frequent Seattle trips at off hours, you may end up driving around through Bainbridge or Tacoma for those. So the buyers who thrive in North Kitsap with this ferry are the ones who structured their lives around it on purpose. If you're a 2 to 3 day a week Seattle commuter with a predictable schedule, well, the ferry is almost custom built for your life. If your work is highly variable or needs frequent late evenings in Seattle, stress test the schedule against your actual life before you commit. Here's who North Kitsap, via the Kingston Fast Ferry, is absolutely the right move for. You work in Seattle 2 to 3 days a week with a predictable schedule. You're priced out of Bainbridge Island, or you've seen the price tag and refused to pay it. You want Pacific Northwest character, waterfront access for a small town community. You want a house, not a condo. Land, not a postage stamp lot. You understand that a commute on a boat with a Puget Sound view is not a sacrifice. And you want to buy before the market finishes figuring this area out. So here's the market reality I want to be direct about. Bainbridge Island was discovered by Seattle commuters in the late 1990s and early 2000s. Back then, Bainbridge prices were elevated but not stratospheric. Then awareness hit critical mass and the commuter ecosystem developed, and today, Bainbridge is one of the most expensive markets in all of Washington State. North Kitsap is where Bainbridge was 20 years ago. The ferry exists, the commute works, and the communities are beautiful. The lifestyle is genuine, but the pricing hasn't caught up because the awareness isn't there yet. Remote work is accelerating this everywhere, so every time a remote worker runs the North Kitsap commute math and comes out ahead, demand for these properties goes up. So that demand increases hasn't translated to a full price correction yet. There's still a gap between what North Kitsap is worth, given the ferry access and the lifestyle, and what you actually pay for it. That gap is the window, and it's open right now. The buyers who locked into Bainbridge in 2002 look like geniuses today. They weren't predicting the future, they just ran the commute math and acted on it before everyone else did. The buyers who get into North Kitsap now, well, the ferry is established, the lifestyle is available, and the prices still reflect the old perception, are going to tell a very similar story. That's not a sales pitch, that's a market observation from someone who watches this region every single day. And I'd rather you hear it from me than figure it out 3 years from now when you're priced out. Before I wrap this up, if you're seriously considering North Kitsap, the Kingston Ferry Corridor, or anywhere in Washington State, and you want a full breakdown of what areas are growing, what the commute options actually look like, and how to think about the relocation decision, I have a free Washington State relocation guide that covers all of it in detail. It's in the description, free, no catch, just the information you need to make a smart call. If you want a real conversation about North Kitsap specifically, about what's actually available in this market right now, please reach out to me directly. My contact information is in the description. That's what I do. So let's land the plane. The Kingston Fast Ferry gets you from North Kitsap County to downtown Seattle Pier 50 in about 39 minutes. That's the actual crossing time on a modern, comfortable, commuter-oriented vessel that runs year-round. So when you factor that into the commute, North Kitsap becomes a legitimate Seattle commuter option at prices $400,000 to $500,000 below Bainbridge Island for a comparable commute. The communities are real. Kingston Village, Poulsbo, Hansville, and Suquamish. Pacific Northwest lifestyle destinations, the things people move to Washington specifically to find. If you came into this video thinking, I want the Pacific Northwest life, but I need to be in Seattle regularly and I can't afford Bainbridge Island, North Kitsap and the Kingston Fast Ferry just answered your question. Some of you came in thinking this was a video about a boat that runs occasionally for tourists. You're leaving with a completely, or hopefully a completely different picture. This is a year-round commuter ferry. It's about 39 minutes to downtown Seattle and it serves a market that's still priced for the old perception. The buyers who figure this out now are buying at the before price. And the Washington Relocation Guide is in the description, free. So if you want to talk about North Kitsap specifically, reach out directly. My information is in the description. And if this video helped you, please hit subscribe, leave a comment, tell me where you're moving from and share this with someone who's been trying to crack the Washington State relocation puzzle. There's a lot more where this came from. Thank you so much for watching.